Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to one more vocabulary class. Vocabulary, no, today's grammar. Welcome to one more grammar class. Today we're gonna take a look at the verb have. I decided to bring to you some of the most common mistakes that um, basic, intermediate, and even sometimes advanced students make regarding the verb have, right? And we are going to have many exercises right from the beginning, so get ready to take notes and focus your attention here, okay? I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, let me just come here. I'm going to share my screen. If you are on Instagram, please, the link of the Telegram is not the WhatsApp, okay? The link is the first link in bio, okay? So you register and then you will have access to the Telegram group. In the Telegram group, I'm gonna send to you the PDF, the slides of this class, okay? Well done. If you are watching the recording, I will ask you to speed up the video a little bit. Nice. Let me see here. Okay, today we're going to see how to use the verb have. And we're going to start right away with some exercises, okay? Because I want you to take a look at how easy it is for us to make confusions, right? To be confused when we use the verb have. First things first, I think if you are here for a while, you know how things work. But if you are new, this is a class. Be ready to take notes, turn off all your notifications, okay? Get ready to concentrate here. At the end of the class, there will be some homework because maybe we won't have time to do all the exercises, okay? So take a look at here. Let's start with some exercises. I have two exercises. The first one is our society many opportunities to be fully developed. Letter A has not, letter B does not have, or letter C had not. What is the correct answer? A, B, or C? Let's start with number one. Okay? You can put in the comments. Something really important here is for us to pay attention what we have after the blank space. Okay? So I have many opportunities. In this case, what is the correct alternative? Our society has not many opportunities. Our society does not have many opportunities. Or our society had not. Think and put your answers in the chat, okay? Number two, she called her parents. Does not have called, has not called, or did not called. Okay. Something that is, and I can say to you that this is pretty common, is that number one. For example, many people they will say, "Teacher, I think number one is letter A." But the thing here is, if you put letter A has not after has not, in this case you are choosing to use the verb have as an auxiliary verb, okay? And after an auxiliary verb in English we have the main verb, Okay? So if you want to say our society many opportunities, and then you are going to say, ah, teacher, but I wanted to say, a nossa sociedade não tem muitas oportunidades, right? So when you use the verb in this sense, you are using the verb have as a kind of possession, okay? That's why in this case, we have to choose letter B. Our society does not have many opportunities. And the key for you to know the correct answer here is to think about what comes after the blank space, many opportunities. If I don't have something, right? Uh, we need to have a noun phrase, okay? So here we're going to say, our society does not have. If you choose has not or had not, they are, in this case, the verb have in A and C. The verb have is an auxiliary verb. After an auxiliary verb, if you have an auxiliary verb, you need a main verb after it, okay? In this case, I don't have a main verb. I have many opportunities. This is a noun phrase, right? Number two, she does not have, has not, or did not. So here, I don't have a noun phrase. Here I have a verb. And this verb is conjugated in the past participle, right? So we are going to do here. She, in this case, it's a main verb. Okay? So in this case, I need an auxiliary verb conjugated here. In this case, the verb is in the past participle. She has not called her parents. And then you can say, teacher didn't understand anything. What's happening? You are going to see now. Okay? Take a look at here. There are two ways in English that you can use the verb have. Okay? The first one is when the verb is the main verb. In this case, the verb have is to talk about possessions or obligations. Okay? So, for example, when I talk about possessions, I say, I have a car, she has a sister, you have a friend. Okay? I, teacher, this is so strange to talk about my friends as possessions. I know, but it's just for us to know how to use the verb. Okay? It's my friend, not your friend. Okay? So, I have a friend, you have a friend, she has a sister, I have a car, you have a house. Possession. Okay? The next one is when we have obligations. I have to study every day. I have to work. So the second way is when I have an auxiliary verb. In this case, for example, take a look what I have. After the possession, I have something. Look, I have a car, a sister, to study, to go. Okay? The second case is when the verb is an auxiliary verb. And we have, for example, the present perfect continuous or the past perfect. In this case, they have traveled a lot. Look, the verb in the past participle. Or you can have been working because you have the present perfect continuous. In this case, the verb have is not a main verb, it's an auxiliary verb of the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. The past perfect, they had already started the meeting when I arrived. Look, had, auxiliary. Here, verb in the past participle, the main verb. She had planned, planned. So you have to look what you have after the verb have. So you will know how to use it. Okay? She had planned to travel In this case, this is auxiliary. Okay? Had to give up. But this is, look, obligation. This is not auxiliary. This is a main verb. Okay? Let's take a look at here. Look, I'm gonna say something. You are going to put your examples in the chat, in the comments, please. Okay? So possessions. You are going to use has, have, or had, and a noun phrase. For example, they have a big house. This is possession. Okay? She had in the past a second-hand car when she was young. In this case, I'm conjugating the main verb. Remember, possessions, the verb have is a main verb, not auxiliary. Main verb here. She had a second-hand car when she was young. I have a meeting now. He has three siblings, two sisters and a brother. Siblings is the way that we call brothers and sisters together. Okay? So they have a big house. Tell me something that you have in your life. Do you have a brother or sister, for example? Tell me in the comments. Okay? For example, I'm going to write to you. I have a sister. Okay? The question is, you are going to make mistakes when we put the sentences in the negative. You always make mistakes when we put this verb in the negative. I have a sister is really easy. I teacher, this is so easy, this sentence. Okay. But now you are going, instead of using I, you are going to use she. So you are going to say, she has a sister. Right? Remember, when I have he, she, it, in the present simple, I use has. Right? Now let's put the sentence in the negative. How do I say this sentence in the negative? Let me see your comments here on. He has a brother. Okay, he has a brother. This is another example. Okay. But let's put this sentence in the negative. So you are going to put like this. She doesn't have a brother. Okay. And what you do, you write, she has not a brother. No. When I'm talking about possessions, be careful how you are going to use the verbs. Okay. Present, we have the auxiliary verb here. We can't see in the affirmative, but in the negative, for example, they have a big house. We're going to say in the negative, they don't have. Because I'm talking about a possession, a small house, for example. Okay? She had a second-hand car. Let's put this sentence in the negative. She had the past. She didn't have. I have a meeting. The negative. I don't have. He has three siblings. In the negative, he doesn't have. And this is something that usually you make the mistake, the students make the mistake. They do like this. When you say I don't, it's easy, right? But when you say she, then you say like this, she has not a sister, for example. No. This doesn't exist. If you use has not, after has not, you have to use a verb in the past participle, right? The confusion comes when you try to use the negative forms, okay? So be careful with that. Obligations. We have to work. If I put in the negative, we're going to put like this. We don't have to work. Simply like that, right? She has to get up early every day. What is the negative? If I say she has to get up early every day, the negative is she doesn't have to get up early every day. Look, the sentence is in the present simple, right? We don't have to do that if we don't want to. Right here, I already have the verb in the negative, okay? So be really careful when you use the verb have as a main verb in the possessions, especially in the negative sentences, okay? When we use the verb as an auxiliary verb, you are going to use the verb have in the present perfect continuous, or in the past perfect, right? I'm not going to go into the many details about these verb tenses because I think we can have grammar classes only focused on each verb tense. I want you to see the format here, okay? When I say, for example, the present perfect, I used to talk about actions that happen in the past, but they might have a correlation, a connection with the present, okay? She has finished her book, okay? Here I have she has finished. In this case, has is the auxiliary verb, finished verb in the past participle. Here I have the present perfect. We've been living here for 6 months. We've been living. This is the present perfect continuous. Have in this case is an auxiliary, just like in the first example. They've told the truth. Here again, I have the verb have as an auxiliary and then the main verb told. Okay? Look at the difference. When I have a sister. After the verb have here, what I have is another verb. In this case, verb in the past participle here, finished and told. In this case here, present perfect continuous being plus another verb with ing. Okay? The past perfect is the verb tense in which I have two actions and one action happened before the other action. Right? So I'm going to draw a timeline here for you. Here is now. And here I have the example. The party had already started when I got there. Two actions in the past. The party started, I got there. What happens first? Number one or number two? What happened first? The party started or I got there? So the party happened first. Look, the party started. I got to the party. I got there. First action, second action. I use the past perfect to let you know what happened before and after. What happened first? The party. So I use the past perfect to let you know what happened first. The party had started. What happened first goes with the past participle. Past perfect. Oh my god. The had plus the verb in the past participle. I got there, then I use the simple past. Okay? This is a very summary of the past perfect tense. In this case, take a look. Had, started. Again, what I have after the verb have is a verb in the past participle. So the verb have here is working as an auxiliary verb. Okay? He couldn't make a sandwich because he had forgotten to buy bread. In this case, I'm using the contraction he'd. He'd is a contraction of he had. Ah, teacher, but he'd, the apostrophe D is also a contraction of would, right? It is, but after would, I don't conjugate, I don't have a verb in the past participle. After would, I have a verb in the infinitive, the base form, okay? So here I have he had, he'd forgotten, verb in the past participle. In this case, I have the verb have as an auxiliary. My new job wasn't exactly what I expected. Again, expected. So this is how you recognize, you look at the sentence and you know if you have to use the verb have as a main verb or as an auxiliary verb. Okay, let's practice. Now we're going to do many exercises. Let's see. Number 1. She lived in Liverpool all her life. You need to focus on what you have after the blank space. Lived, in this case, experience, traveled. First, you have to say to me, teacher, number 1, she, in Liverpool all her life. So lived here is a verb, and this verb is in the past participle. The verb in the past participle. So in this case, you are going to use have as an auxiliary or a main verb. Right? Tell me in the comments what's your answer for number 1. She does not live in Liverpool. She has lived in Liverpool. She have lived in Liverpool. A, B, or C. I'm gonna close the video here on Instagram. If you are here on Instagram, please join the class on YouTube, okay? It's the first link in bio. Number 2, he experienced in this area. He not have, he has, or he have. He not have experience, he has experience, he have experience. Number 3, they do not travel to the world. They has traveled the world. They have traveled the world. I just noticed a mistake in number 3. The teacher will have to cancel number 3. But tell me your answers about number 1 and number 2, okay? So here I have lived is a verb in the past participle. So the verb have is going to be an auxiliary verb, right? So remember here, when I have the verb in the past participle after have, the have is an auxiliary verb. It doesn't happen when I have the have or has as a main verb, okay? That's why you can eliminate letter A. Here you need to have has. In this case, the verb tense that I have here is the present perfect, right? Has lived. Has because it's she. He experiences what? It's something. A experiência, right? In this case, it's not a verb in the past participle. So in this case, the verb have is not an auxiliary verb, right? In this case, the verb have is a main verb. So we are going to use here, he has experience in this area. Ah, teacher, but can I use he not have? No, because if you want, the affirmative sentence is he has experience. The negative, and this is what makes the confusion, he doesn't have experience. The question, does he have experience? Okay. Number 3, there is a mistake here. Here, I am talking about two actions that happened in the past, one before the other one. So in this case, I have two activities, travel the world and he were 40. Look, this is his birthday of 40. And this is his life before the 40s. And here he traveled. What happened first? Traveled. When I have a verb tense that tells me that two actions happened in the past and one action happened before another one, I use the past perfect, right? Look, two actions that happened in the past and one action happened before the other one. Had. That's why I have to cancel here is had, not has. Okay. We have more here. If we don't finish, I'm gonna ask you to do this as a homework, and you can send to me your answers in the Telegram, okay? And I will let you know. I'll give you the feedback. You can send the answers to me in the Telegram group, but you can send to me a direct message, right, with your answers. Let's do like that, and then I'll let you know if you did well, okay? Number 4, poor children, many opportunities to learn other languages. You have to look what comes after the blank space. Many opportunities to work, a lot of friends. Many opportunities is not a verb in the past participle, right? Many opportunities is something. So in this case, what I have here is not an auxiliary verb, it's a main verb. So now I need to think about poor children. Poor children does not many opportunities. There is something missing here, right? Poor children have not. No, in this case, it would be an auxiliary. I want a main verb. Poor children do not have many opportunities. In this case, have is the main verb. Do not is the auxiliary of the present. Okay. Teachers to work a lot. When I have to and then another verb, have is not an auxiliary, okay? Teachers have. Ah, okay. So I'm gonna write here, just like I did. The affirmative is teachers have to work. But if you want to use the negative, you are going to use like this. Teachers don't have to work. Okay? The verb have here is in the present simple. So I put in the negative, don't have to. Okay? Maria, a lot of friends. A lot of friends is not a verb in the past participle. So in this case, I have the verb have as the main verb. Maria has not, has, or have? Maria has a lot of friends. Ah, teacher, but I want to say in the negative. Okay. If you are a little bit lost when you are watching this class, If there is one thing I want you to bear in mind after this class is you need to know how to use the verb have in the negative sentences. So bear that in mind, okay? Make sure you know how to use this. Maria has a lot of friends, okay? In the negative, in this case, is a main verb, right? And I'm talking about the present simple. So the auxiliary would be doesn't, in the negative, doesn't have a lot of friends. You cannot say Maria has not. No, it doesn't exist in this case. Okay. I think we have more here. Let's do this before we go. She any choice but to postpone the meeting. Okay, again, we're going to focus on what I have after any choice to call an old friend. I don't have verbs in the past participle here. This is not a verb in the past participle. This is just a verb with to, not the verb in the past participle, right? So have it will be as the verb have will be the main verb. She has not, have not, did not have. Look, has not here is auxiliary. Auxiliary. I want a main verb. Did not have. They to call the police. Here, if I put, first of all, letter A doesn't exist, okay? They has, no, because has is for he, she, it. They had to call. And in this case, it's not the past perfect. This is the verb have as a main verb conjugated in the past simple. Eles tiveram que chamar a polícia. We, an old friend, is not a verb in the past participle, it's something, so I will use have as a main verb. Has not, auxiliary. Have not, auxiliary. We have an old friend. Okay. Well done. That's it, everyone. Let me tell you something here before we go. When you study the verb have, the important thing is for you to understand when you have it as a main verb and when you use it as an auxiliary verb. When you use it as a main verb, we're going to think about possessions and obligations. And remember about your own example of your own life. For example, I have a sister, so this is my example of possession. And I can say I have a bicycle as well, a material possession, okay? Main verb. Let's put, and always remember, main verb, auxiliary verb, and imagine you have to say the sentence also in the negative. Because this is what usually, this is what causes the confusion, okay? Let me give you the password of the file. Just for you to know, every class I send the PDF with the slides of the class to the group, but the file is protected. You have to write a password to open the file because the objective is for you to see the slides and follow and watch the class here on YouTube. Okay? So I'm gonna put here the password of this class is, I'm gonna take any word from here, like meeting. This is the password we're going to use to open this file, and the file will be available in a minute there inside the Telegram group. Okay? You can, today I'm gonna post a quiz on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, please follow me. Um, it's like this, milene.shida. So you can practice a little bit, okay, what you learned today. I hope you like the class and I hope to see you here on Thursday. Thursday, we are going to have a vocab class, okay? And if you need anything, you can just drop me a line on Telegram or on Instagram. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here and have a great day. Bye. And like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. See you.